Welcome to the Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show. Today we're going to talk about appliances. These are the appliances I use most in my everyday cooking, so that's what I'm going to share with you today. We're just going to start on our left. This is a Cuisinart 10-cup food processor. I would say it's okay. I wouldn't say it's a great food processor. It's pretty loud and it shakes a bit, but it does what I need it to do. So I use this probably about every other day, and it cleans up pretty easily. Most of the parts can go in the dishwasher, so that's an added benefit. Next we have the NutriBullet, which I absolutely love. I think everybody should have one of these, or at least a Magic Bullet, which is the smaller version, and the motor is a little less powerful than this. But if you're just making your daily smoothie, the Magic Bullet's great. But we feed a family of 4, so it gets a lot more use. And the NutriBullet has quite a bit bigger motor in it, and the blades on the cups, or on the mechanism here, the gear, are a bit stronger. So we've had this guy about 2 years, and it's lasted us great. It's just now starting to wear out a bit. We went through 2 or 3 Magic Bullets, so I probably won't buy those anymore because this guy is so much more powerful. Then we have a Spiralizer. You know, when you change to a plant-based diet or vegan diet and you're eating a lot of salads, sometimes it gets a little boring. So having a Spiralizer makes having salads a little bit fun. You can spiralize up zucchini or cucumber or carrots or beets, and they make just the most beautiful little curly vegetables. And it's just fun. You can still use your same dressings and make all kinds of fun stuff, but this is something, you know, maybe your kids might even like to do. And you can also do like sweet potato and zucchini, and you can blanch them lightly and use them in place of your noodles, like pasta noodles, which is really great. What I have here is a Mandoline, which I think everybody knows what a Mandoline is. You know, it's a vegetable slicer. It makes really pretty sliced vegetables, and the blades, they have different grooves in the blades, so it makes different patterns, and it's just kind of fun. You know, if you're doing like vegetables with a dip or something, it makes really nice sliced up vegetables, and it's super quick, super easy, really easy to clean. Love it. What I have here is my 8-quart crock pot by Crock-Pot. I think I bought it at Target. It wasn't too expensive, but this is the bigger version. There are smaller ones, but like I said, we feed a family of 4. So this is great to have on hand, especially if you're cooking the beans, dry beans. Rinse them overnight, stick them in this in the morning, put the timer on, because there's different levels of timers from like 2 hours to 8 hours, so that it doesn't burn your beans or soups or stews, whatever you put in there. And when you get home from work, you've got a steaming dinner ready for you. I love it. I just absolutely love it. Then I have my trusty, this is the appliance we use the most in our family. This guy probably gets used 5 to 10 times a day. Love it. We used to have a Vitamix, which I still love Vitamix. But when we moved from another country which had a different power source, so we weren't able to bring it with us. And then we moved into an apartment also with very thin walls, and I was a bit concerned about the noise that the Vitamix makes. It's really loud, and I thought, wow, we're using it a lot and we're gonna drive our neighbors crazy. So we started looking around and we found this guy. This is the Blendtec Professional 800, and it comes with this case. It's a silence case. So it's probably equally as loud as the Vitamix without the case. But with the case, great. No problems with neighbors. It was great. And it does cost a little bit more, but like I said, it's the appliance we use the most in our family, so we were willing to spend a little bit more on the blender so that we don't have to burn out blenders like we did our Magic Bullet. I don't know. I think I like Vitamix and Blendtec equally for different reasons. I like the Blendtec because it's got the silent case and because the blades are blunt. The Vitamix blades are super sharp. And when you dig your stuff out with your spatula, sometimes it takes little gouges out of that spatula and it wears it out really quick, and sometimes you end up with chunks of plastic in your food, which is not great. The Blendtec's blades are blunt, and somehow it does the same work, but without the sharp blades. But the Vitamix has the plunger, which I really do miss to keep the food mixing around or moving around. Sometimes you do have to stop the Blendtec to stir things up a little bit and put it back on. So the Vitamix is kind of nice. You don't have to open anything up. You just manually plunge it and it's good to go. The last thing I have is the knife. I didn't believe in the beginning that you really needed to have a good knife, but over the years I've had so many knives and they go dull so fast because I wasn't willing to spend any money on them. You know, I would spend $5 or $10 on a knife and they would just go dull. And then I'd be pressing so hard on my vegetables and be frustrated cutting onions and stuff like that. And then my husband bought us a really nice knife for Christmas, well, a couple years ago. And I don't know how much he spent, but I know it's more than $10. And we hardly ever have to sharpen this guy. And it's a great knife. And apparently, when you use a sharp knife, you're way less likely to cut your fingers or fingernails. Because when you have a dull knife, you press so much harder that it's easier for your vegetables to slip and your fingers to get in there. So get yourself a nice, good, sharp knife. Spend a little bit more money. It's going to last you a long time. So over the years, that cost won't mean a whole lot. So I hope you enjoyed. I'll give the details of these machines in the link below, and I'll see you next time.